recording, and slightly delayed, just due to the fact of, well, eating at the beginning. Warm welcome to everyone for joining the stream, or if you're watching the VOD afterwards, a warm welcome to you as well. We are pretty much just going to be doing the, I actually need to turn that off. Just kind of doing some Gems of War stuff. Probably we'll only do a bunch of guild stuff today, since it's near the beginning of the week. Definitely not Wednesday already. And so I'm just going to get stuff done. I always like the tower mission, just due to the fact that eventually it's just 3 or 4 towers, and you can just punch your way across. Or in this case, just like one hit kill, one hit kill, one hit kill, and have no issues whatsoever. There's no good spot, but I still am going to do this. Ooh, yes, we love to see it. And punch. And a punch. Cool. But I am now quite full, to say the least. I have been doing fairly well, I'll want to say. Maybe not all things considered, but generally fairly well since the last time I streamed. Ah, dang it. I was really hoping that'd be the last one. As I've mostly been catching up on projects, not projects, just the chores, like daily chores that I've been meaning to do. I've been properly catching up and doing them. And it's been nice. I've started doing more and more exercise again, which has been nice. I've started going on a total of 30 minutes of walking, which isn't much, but it is still something. Like, that is always the key of, like, it might not be much for someone, but it is still progress. And so I've been quite happy with the slow and steady making some progress. And so I've been doing that fairly recently, just, you know, I've caught up on my chores and all that, and overall I'm quite happy with where I'm at right now. There's still like a million one different things that I want to do. I was like, what thing did I just do? But I am restricting myself to only work on another project once I've finished one. So, like, currently I'm trying to sort a bunch of Magic the Gathering cards. I have tons. I have probably close to 6,000 or 8,000 cards, probably. Now that I'm just thinking about it, like, probably that much. And so I'm trying to sort them all, so that takes a while, and it also takes a lot of card holders, which currently I have run out of card holders. So it's on pause right now, which is probably why I actually have the time to stream. So we'll see on how quickly how quickly I end up, or not quickly, but how consistently I am with streaming. Okay, just a second. I'm checking a few things. It's this. Yeah. Okay. I was like, what? So something's off, and then I realized, yeah, that I moved it to a different thing. My game called Phantom Asteroids is kind of a mess on the back end. One, it's been so many years since I started it and went through so many different things. It's been a mess constantly. But with the latest kind of stuff of half-started projects on it, I have no idea what's not working or how to get it to work. to the point where I'm like, I don't even know why this isn't building properly. Like, it will play fine, but I don't know why it won't build. And I have like less than a week at this point to get it built with the new version. Otherwise, I can't update it anymore. And I have just gotten to the point where I'm like, you know what? It's an absolute mess. I will be fine with it just sadly dying off in a corner kind of thing. Because, I mean, the thing is as well, like, no more than like 2 people pretty much ever, like, at a time would ever have it downloaded, so I wasn't getting any attention towards it anyways. So I wasn't worried about that. If it was a case where I had like 5 people playing it, I'd probably go like, yeah, I should probably take the time to figure out what in the world I was doing and how to fix it. But it's just been very much a hobby thing. And definitely also the case of not really anyone, playing my hobby. So it's just like, yep, it's a thing. And it soon will probably pretty much be not a thing. But at the very least, at some point when I get back to actually programming, making games, I'll have a bit of a better schedule in a sense. Because I've started changing how I'm scheduling things. Instead of like, oh, try and work on something a little bit this week, or try and work on this a little bit this week. Having like a ton of different projects. I'm just basically going to like, okay, figure out which game or which thing I want to work on for the month. Focus on it. And just like, until that's finished, don't worry about anything else. Just focus on that thing. And theoretically, that should do me good. Because that way I don't overwhelm myself and then end up getting nothing and then feel like I can't get anything done. Because I did have to actually deal with that for a little bit. I was dealing with definitely some form of depression. And I eventually realized it was a case of I was trying to do way too many things. And because I was trying to do way too many things, but obviously you can only do so much in a day, I felt like I wasn't able to get anything done. So it was the case of like, I'm getting nowhere. I'm putting in a ton of effort, getting nowhere, and there's still 1,000,001 different things I'm wanting to do. And I realized that as like I started just focusing on like one thing a day, or like, a day here, a day there, and then I was noticing like, wait a second, I'm doing fine those days. Why am I? And then it kind of just clicked for me. And it's like, wait a second. And then I started sorting the magic cards, and that was great. That literally was pretty much all I was doing some days. Besides work and school that I still had to deal with, beyond the bare necessities of what I need to do day to day. I was pretty much just like every waking hour, just like sorting cards. I want to say like day 6 or so, I started getting a little tired of how much. It wasn't even the sorting part, it was the putting into sleeves. Because some of my categories that, like, I have 3 binders just for like instant sorceries and enchantments that are sorted by buff, debuff, or draw related spells. And there are a lot of buff, debuff, and draw related spells. Like, I have a full binder, like, literally it is, I'm not sure I can get any more cards into it. Full binder of human cards. But the buff, debuff, and card cards, they all, just like every round that I do of sorting my cards, they just have so much taller stacks, so it's just like I'm gonna have to sit down putting in cards for at least 2 hours just for this stack. And there's two others roughly 3/4 the size. And so it was a bit exhausting. However, it also is the double case of I also just don't have any more card holders sheets. So it's the case of like, even if I did have the energy, I actually can't put them anywhere. So it's the case I need to get some more, but where we checked when I went shopping the other day, I guess actually it was just yesterday, didn't actually, they were all sold out of card holders, so it's like, that's very unfortunate. Oh well. So it's like, well, I guess I'll be put on hold for a little bit longer. But at the same time, I've been having a lot of fun going through my different cards and going like, ooh, these are cool. This is cool. Oh, this one's worth $5. It also feels at times it feels super random when a card is super valuable. Usually, it has to do with rarity and being a good card. But sometimes it is just the case where it's like, you know what? If it's theoretically worth this much, it's theoretically worth this much. And the biggest thing as well is it's not like I'm going to actually sell any of these cards. Not because I wouldn't like the money, but just because I don't know how to sell things. Like, even just digitally, like I have a few things, like I have a Discord shop set up, but it's very much the case, like I have no idea what I actually put there. I put like a few images there, or I think also like a story in there. But at the same time, the minimum is like $3, which feels like an absolute ripoff, you know, for someone paying me to like... Just like, yeah, I'd like, you know, one of your things, please. It's like I just, it's more so the case of like, I don't feel like I've earned that $3 just for one little thing. So it's like, I don't know. What I do plan eventually with like the stores and stuff, is to sort through my art again eventually. Not again, even just sort through it, and then fill out different characters a bit more, so there's more art of the character, different styles, or not styles. I mean, technically, it could be potentially different styles. Today I'll be doing this nonchalant style, and tomorrow I'll be doing this super focused style. I swear, like, some character... Actually, really, it comes down to, am I doing more angular, or tracing, or just go freehanding it, or freehanding with a reference to the side, like, or am I freehanding with a size reference? Like, there's so many different ways that just greatly affect how the end piece turns out for me. Because so often it is just the case, like, I'm just kind of drawn, and it just kind of is what it is. And probably a lot of, you know, any good quality drawings comes from whatever I was learning from. Oh, dang it. It's barriered itself. And that's the other thing. Like, another reason why I don't necessarily feel like $3 is worth, you know, getting the art. Like, I should say, I don't deserve the $3. Is because, like, a lot of my artwork right now, maybe 20, 80, I don't know. Maybe not a lot. I don't know. But I feel like it's a lot. I've been learning by either heavily using reference or tracing to learn kind of roughly how things would look, work, how this all connects kind of thing, you know, through active practice. So it's like, when it's cases like that where it's like, well, this is You know, this is, yes, still took the time to draw it, but is it really necessarily my work to, call my own and like take full, or take selling credit of it? It's like, probably not. So it's like there's many moral questions also around it, and there's probably plenty of cases where it's like, it's still, you've changed it in some way, it makes it different. I did a much poorer job at coloring it. Though that is actually like one of the biggest things. I do pretty much no shading. I still need to figure out. I need to properly learn how to shade things. But that is one of those things that I'll probably try and do. Probably try and do when I'm done with whatever current project. Because I don't know what I'm going to do next. There probably will be the art thing, but it probably won't be. Sorry, I had to change that so that way the thanks for subbing message for during the ad breaks isn't just like blending into the background. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, but just like I have very little when it comes to shading, and like I plan on trying to learn it at some point, but I haven't got to it, and then currently I projects focusing on other things, so I don't focus on too many things. Fun things. Either way. Oh, you barriered yourself. Dang it. Let's just do that. Pop your barrier. Hey, you're not supposed to be able to do anything. Do that. Oh yeah, that's a nice thing. She just keeps us blessed. I guess that is the case of like the bless is actually kind of nice this time around. But yeah, shading. I just need to learn it a bit. I mostly end up just doing full colors with like an area, like all the different bones in my skeleton. I pretty much just like went to the bucket tool and clicked fill. Like that was pretty much how I did it. It was I found the color, the slightly darker white, hit fill, called it good. The bucket is different because I actually added splotches of rust onto the metal parts and like slight holes in the bucket. So it's like, but that was also like, I was like, I'm going to make a bucket just because I could. I legitimately have no idea why I was like, you know what? I'm going to draw a bucket. I have no idea why, but I did. And then I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to add this. I'm going to make this. I was really happy with it. But it was legitimately just a generic bucket that I have no idea was like, I'm going to draw this. I'm happy I did. What did they have to do? I'm questioning how they got so much mana. Did I just explode the board too hard that they got a bunch of mana? I don't know. Yeah, okay, that should kill it at least. He'll get barrier, dang you. Luckily, I should be able to take it off. Yay. This book's very nice. Oh, it also enchants himself. Okay, so what hell does it, Yeah, and trains 3 mana as well. Gosh, this book is just wonderful. It explodes any gems. It literally explodes over half the board. Which, yeah, at that point it gets very inefficient, but at the same time, you're pretty much guaranteed you are going to explode a total of 64 gems, aka V board. Almost guaranteed. Aw, dang it. Which is so much mana, because it's effectively going to end up being around 32 mana. Like, that's enough to charge up roughly 3 people. So, like, I've done a bunch of calculations and realized, yeah, higher tier explosion stuff is just kind of really, really, really good. I'm reading my headlines on the bottom of the stream. Because, you know, I have this rotating thing. And I totally forgot what I've put in. You know, I have a bunch of like this, you know, check this out kind of stuff. Like very normal things. But then, you know, I have the very usual, like, hey, just, you know, you should do this. You should subscribe. Hey, you watching right now. Yeah, you should subscribe and follow the channel. So that way you can do some stuff. Or not just, so you can catch me when I go live, when I randomly go live. Also, that's what it was just me denoting that, yeah, with my sorting of magic cards, I have gotten a theoretical loss of about 50% based off the cost that I, probably have spent on the cards. Because there's a good old-fashioned case of, like, some cards are definitely from dual decks. So those are cheaper per card, I want to say. And so that would change the average, but like as it's if I just took the numbers as like, you know, I got all these cards from booster packs, then it would be about a 50% loss. I think it was technically a 53% loss at the last time I checked. The potentially that's also increased since I did spend a bit of money. It was in $10. Buying 2 new magic packs because I could. I got some fun things out of it, but at the same time, literally nothing valuable. Just some cool things, which is kind of what you expect in a sense. It's like, I'm not doing it for any kind of money. I'm just doing it because one of my friends has got me roped back into cards. Namely, they started opening Pokemon packs on their stream. And I was like, oh, that seems really cool. Now I really want to sort my cards again. And then I started sorting my cards. And then as I sorted my cards more, I was like, ah, dang, really wish I could get, you know, do more with my cards again. I also, legitimately, am thinking about trying to find some, like, local Magic the Gathering tournaments or games or whatever's around my local community. So, like, that way... That way, like, I then do have a use for all the cards that I have. Instead of just like, look at these cards, aren't they neat? I'm gonna sell this one for a copper or 2. But that'll be a ways down the line just due to the good old-fashioned thing of I need to make sure I do not do too many things and overload my system. Because that is very known to happen. But it's gonna be an issue. Maybe. Yes, definitely. Oh, dang it. I have to do that and hopefully get you. Yeah, that's what I thought. uh, yeah, just have so many things that I want to do that I will eventually get to. And definitely by focusing on just one thing at a time, it's allowing me to get a whole lot more done. Because I've been able to catch up on all my chores, which has been a backlog for who knows how long. Uh, so I'm quite happy with that. I think. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but pretty much I'm just happy with how I am right now. Anything good? No, not really much, but at least some. Oh, I should have punched. I guess I punched either way. Okay. Well, guess I'll just do that. Huh? Explosions. And they're not charged, so more explosions. We just love explosions here. Explosions. The best kind of explosions. Good. And then I think I will try and stream a bit more. A bit more of this at the very least. That way... No, I don't want that right now. And none of those apply. Oh, random storms. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think that's actually useful. That was like, oh, that'd be great, except for I'm pretty sure all the towers are impervious, so they don't actually do anything. That's a downside with boss characters, is that like you gotta make them immune to things, otherwise you just can't. Yeah, like immune to all status effects, devour, mana drain, transform, lycanthropy, and lethal damage. Like it's just a bunch of things where it's just like, yeah, the only thing you can do to us is punch us really hard. But I understand why as well. Like otherwise, you would just have a super powerful build, where you just insta kill, go pew 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 pew. You set up the one dog, to just eat away at, just like oh that didn't get ya. Well, explode the board, get a ton of mana, and try again, kind of thing. Or there's a few devour, or maybe it's insta kill or characters that do it based off of enemy armor or health or some scaling factor, that it gets to the point where you just get so much armor or whatever that it would basically be a guaranteed kill every single time, which is wild. And so it's like when you're in a case of infinite scaling, you have to consider things that scale perfectly or better than perfectly in those cases. Granted, there still are some definitely heavy hitting damage characters when it comes to just pure damage, like a Tesla does enormous amounts of damage. Tesla just does so much damage because she does like a point more damage for every 3 armor on everyone, enemy and ally, and it does true damage on top of that. So it's effectively doubling the damage that's being done. At least that's how I calculate it, is because you don't have to go through armor, and at this stage of the game, armor usually is about what your health is, give or take like 20 points, which is massive early on, but like when things are like 170, or 90 and 70, 20, 90 and 100. Like, it's the case of like, there's a difference. However, it doesn't mean much. I've also been slightly getting over my really nasty cough finally. It may just be a case of really bad allergies and I needed to be taking my inhalers this entire time and I wasn't. Also, maybe not just allergies, but either way, it was a case of I should have been taking my inhalers and I wasn't. Because I was like, I don't need my inhalers. I'm not having an asthma. I'm not having issues breathing. I'm just coughing a lot. But yeah, the cough seems to be going away now that I've been taking my inhalers for a good week or so. So it's a case of like, I think I know who to blame for the cough being around for so long. It's myself. Ooh, I like that. What else have I been doing? Yes, I've been playing some Marvel Rivals here and there. I had a bit of a stretch of time this last weekend. It's really just this last weekend where I decided to play pretty much every different character except for like a handful of them, because either I was like, too complex of a kit, I don't want a brain today, or they just had no appeal. I was just like, I don't feel like playing that character. Or there was one exception to that, and that was Blade, because it's still like the first week or so since Blade has been released. And while it's not as bad as day one, where like 4 people out of the 6 of your team were trying to be Blade, there still is consistently 2 people wanting to be Blade, and I'd rather not be a third. Because then it'd just be madness. So it's like, I'll play him later when not literally everyone is trying to play him. Because I was just basically trying to find what kind of characters, or which characters I do best on. And with a fun dandy spreadsheet, I got my answers. I am really good at healing. Also, do really good with like Storm. I also found I do have a lot of fun with a Moon Man, as he just has a lot of mobility, and also I like the Onks, and there's a good amount of stuff where it's just like I just have fun with him. He's quite enjoyable. And bunch. Because I had a few games with him where I was just, there was a few, like, there was a Hulk or there was a Blade trying to dive me. As I was kind of sitting back, placing onks, throwing things, all that kind of good stuff. And they would try and get me, and I would just be like, okay, there's building, zipline, thank you. Or grappling hook, and just like, I would just grapple my way out of there, just like, goodbye. My people need me, and they are not you. I shall go away. And then I'd just turn around and go, throw, throw, throw. It was always so enjoyable for me, just due to the fact that it was like, I'm now out of your reach. Time to throw things at you. I didn't even do that good with him. Like, he is one of my better characters. Like, he's above average, but the average is pretty low. So it's not saying too much. There, okay. I was like, there's like no purple. Guess I really also don't need blue and red bonus because of the fact that I'm just blowing up the board for mana. Okay, so interesting. They are gaining mana from me going boom. Ha. Interesting. That's not how that works. Okay. I legitimately think it might just be a case I'm just doing too many explosions. And it's like, you know what? Everyone gets mana. Which I couldn't blame them. But it does mean that things will kind of start to hurt. Yeah, I have no idea. Like, what the heck? Like, maybe it's just the first time around, or maybe some other fun reasoning. Oh, perfect, right at the top. Oh. And then, you know, like, Moonman also has the double jump. So I could, like, if I didn't have my grappling hook ready, I could just double jump out of there. Just be like, goodbye, my people need me. And it was so enjoyable because there were so many times where they would dive me, and I just like, no, not today. And it was just so silly because, like, I was more so just a nuisance factor because of the aunts, and like, my poor aim is not helping that much. So it's just kids like, I'm not really a threat. I'm still somewhat of a threat. But mostly it's just the case that like I probably am just annoying because they're like, oh, let's just get this one, and then they just can't. So they're like, I'm going to get you eventually. Ooh, that's a lot of scores. But I also found that a lot of different things. Right. It also does remind me before I forget. Tangenting into my mind. Okay, good. Had to leave myself some notes because the good old-fashioned case of I thought of something and realized I should write it down before I forget. Oh yeah, Moonman. I was like, where was I? Rivals and Moonman. Namely, I want to say at least some of the DPS characters I did more DPS as, or damage on. I think it's DPS as well. Than on my healers. But not most of them. Just some of them. Definitely, I found I definitely did best on Storm, which makes sense. I've played Storm the longest. I've gotten pretty decent with her kit. I still have a terrible case of inability to aim anything, but you know, we all have our weaknesses. So it is just the case of like, you know, I might not be able to aim, and that's not getting any better, unfortunately. No matter how much I try and practice. It was actually kind of funny. I realized I have an issue with that when I can't learn something or can't get better at something. It's kind of a big issue for me. But I did a bunch of training in like the training room, training field, or whatever it's called with Marvel Rivals. And had a good bit of fun. I was like, okay, I'm definitely getting better at hitting these stationary targets. Like, I'm taking the time to aim and whatever. As soon as they started moving side to side, even, just side to side even, so I only had to move side to side, you know, mouse-wise, I just could not. I was only able to hit them, like, 10% of the time, pretty much. And, like, never any headshots at that point. And, you know, most people you fight in, you know, in game will be bouncing around, moving side to side, all that kind of stuff, because it's effective. Like, there is a reason why no one just sits, you know, stands still and goes pew, pew, pew. Actually, Iron Man does it a lot, but he's Iron Man. He gets to, you know, have his excuse of he could be lazy. I guess technically Squirrel Girl sometimes does that as well. Not good Squirrel Girl players, but definitely some Squirrel Girl players will just kind of sit from a mile away and lob acorns. And some do well with that as well, but it is always like, yeah, okay. Like, I guess that's the thing, but and I'm trying to remember my chart off the top of my head. Overall, there weren't many DPS characters I was good at, to say the least. I was like, yeah, I'll just kind of stick with tanking or healing, the most desired roles. It's kind of like within WoW. I'm really good at DPS. I'm kind of good with everything. But so many times when I get back into actively raiding or mythics, more so on the raiding side of things, there are so many occasions that I just end up as a healer or as the tank, or like I go in as the DPS and end up healing some, or end up tanking a bit. I will still find it forever hilarious. One of the times, or back in Shadowlands, one of the raids I did, because I was actually actively raiding. Oh, it's a wish gem. It's a wish gem that I go boom. It gives everyone mana. That's what's happening. Got it. Well, let's just go boom to get rid of that barrier. Yeah, when I was actively raiding, last time I was actively raiding, and even then it was just like normal dungeon or normal raids. It was the first time I've did that, but it was the first and last pretty much time. But a lot of those times I went in as a healer and almost immediately got asked, hey, can you tank? And then I ended up tanking the rest of the thing. But the thing was, I was good at it. Like, legitimately was good. Because I also tanked a ton and, like, the looking for raid and, like, those wings as well. And so, like, I had good practice with everything. It wasn't just a case of, like, yeah, I could tank, totally, and then get decimated. Like, I did at least have a good idea what I was doing. But there was like one, or like I want to say the second or third one that I did of that night or something. I was like at the end of it, I was like, wait a second, I've once again been tricked into a tank role. I went into this one like the others as a healer. And I just found it really funny because it was like no shame on literally anyone else. But it was just hilarious that, like, yep, oops. Yeah, I guess that worked out at the very least. Like, I've at the very least, know how to do it, but it's just so hilarious. Just like, I've been tricked into tanking again. Like, it works. I get the raid done, and I'm decent at tanking. It's just the case of, like, I very much always enjoy healing way more than I enjoy tanking. Probably just due to the good old-fashioned case of I love, like, there's so much stuff to keep track of as a healer, and I kind of just love it. And so it's just like, yeah, I gotta do all this stuff and all this healing. And the thing is as well, like, on top of everything, I'm also a good healer. Like, I've very much been consistently quite good at pretty much any class that I play. Paladin, I'm pretty much good at any spec that I play. Like, definitely my alts are nowhere as good as my mains, or my main, just due to the good old-fashioned case of, well, I play my main way more than I play my alts, and as such, I'm just gonna, be better at my main. Okay, who turns it into a... Oh, okay, you do. Why are you turning the thing into a wish gem? You're just dooming us all. I should have read that. Ooh, punch. Ooh. I don't... okay, you know what? That was a fine wish. I gotta punch both of them afterward. Like, your mana is on charge, and I should punch you. Ooh. Oh, stretch. Now, the difference between WoW and Marvel Rivals is a very stark contrast of, unlike in WoW, I am not good with Rivals. And that's just because I'm not good at aiming. And as such, it's harder to be good at something when, like 90% of it is being able to aim and annihilate an enemy, and you cannot aim. So, it's like, could be much better. Hopefully, could be better. Hopefully, this is not my, where my power, is limited at. But, I'm like pretty, I'll keep saying the word decent. Might not be even accurate, but at the very least, somewhat decent with like tanks and healers, and mostly healers. I found actually I do the best with Cloak and Dagger, and that's largely due to auto aim, because auto aim is really, really useful. And as I was checking the Reddit this morning for Rivals, so many skulls and literally no four-ways. Hey, look, bonus turn. I was really hoping that would happen. Let's just do that. Hey, look, they're all dead. I killed him. I killed him too quickly. But yeah, so I was checking the Reddits for the Marvel Rivals, and someone was, I want to say, complaining about Cloak and Dagger players. Not necessarily like in a super complaining way, but just like a nitty gritty, like, I think it was something of like when they only stay as like Dagger and not switch to Cloak. And I think people were talking about, the different things like, oh, you need to switch to Cloak for this thing, that thing. And someone brought up, like, how they love switching to Cloak to be able to do the big Cloak ability, to save people from different things, or from Jeff Foltz. And then from there, and then also later in comments, like, I realized, like, you could save so many people with just a good timed sweep, because it makes you untargetable, invisible, invulnerable, or whatever. Maybe not invulnerable. For like 3 seconds. But if you time it well, you can really easily, like, an Iron Man is trying to shoot your way. Oh, let me just, you do a Cloak, and that big old bang cannon did nothing. Oh, there's a Scarlet Witch trying to ult. Time up the thing and swoop, and nothing. And like, that is something I could get better at. since that doesn't require aiming. That's just like planning and situational awareness. Granted, I'm not sure I have much of that either, but that at least has less on the aiming side of things. Ooh. So it's like, I was like, ooh, I could get even better potentially. Ooh, nice. And more skull. I guess don't need skulls. I was like, any more skulls? But it's like, I realized don't need skulls. I can just punch. Ooh. And then... Trying to think of the different characters I played around with, had some fun with. Because I wanted to share, so... That's something I've done recently. It wasn't just sort cards. And this is my stream of chaos. By chaos, I mean... I don't know what I'm doing, so it's chaotic. Yeah. I think the best part about streaming, at least for me, is it gets me up and talking, because I do not talk as much as I should. Definitely helps out a lot to actively be talking and consistently be talking. Granted, my nose has gotten incredibly nasally because of the fact that I'm doing all this talking, which isn't great, but oh well, kinda is what it is. Like, there's not much I can do about it. Hey, look, punch. Yeah, not much I can do about it that I know of, because it might just be allergies, it might be another health problem that I seem to have. Who knows? But either way, it is a thing. And I notice it's not a thing when I stream often and actually talk more than once a month kind of thing. Oh. Yeah, blow things up. Yeah, most of the tanks. I found most of the tanks I did fairly well with in Marvel Rivals. I didn't check them all out. I'm really bad at Captain America. That, or he just isn't that good, but I have a feeling it's just the case that I'm really bad at him. Because I hear Thor is often remarked as one of the worst tanks. So, it's like, I'm pretty sure I'm just really bad with Captain. However, I will say, I did surprisingly well with Thor. I did absolutely terrible the first game that I did with them, but future games, I got surprisingly decent. I was getting a hang of his rotation and how to kind of play him and take enemies down, and I was getting legitimately, like, quite deadly. And I was like, hey, I'm doing actually some, like, good damage and, staying alive and, being tanky and all that. So I was like, hey, this is actually going fairly well. I'm surprised. I don't know if I needed to explode the board. So it was like, I was quite surprised, like, what? Also, why did I kill that one? Who knows? Who knows my madness besides me? Dang it. I need a bonus turn as well, hopefully. Yeah, that works. Skulls also work. And then I did the best with Magneto, which I now understand, like, why people say he's a really good solo tank. Because he's just really good. He's surprisingly, like, despite the fact that I would consistently miss on his secondary, the whatever ability that uses up the rings, like, despite the fact that I'd probably miss most of my shots just due to good old-fashioned I can't hit things. Uh, like, I still did the most damage of pretty much any character except for, like, Storm. Or, no. There's a few DPS. I think? I don't know. I'd have to check my chat. I did really good damage with them. I was quite surprised. I was like, ooh. And I had a few ults that felt very satisfying. I also had a few ults that literally did absolutely nothing. But better track record than my Wanda ult. Oh, dang it. As my Wanda ults, I went 0 and 5. I managed somehow not to kill a single enemy with 5 ults that legitimately went off. Like, it wasn't that I got killed in the middle of it, and that's why, it failed. Like, no, I went off. I just didn't hit anyone. I want to say some of them were line of sight, some of them were distance, some of them were I don't know why this didn't work. And then one of them would have worked really well, I hope. Except for their invisible woman just pushed me away. I was like, aw. Like, I wasn't even mad. I was just kind of disappointed. I was like, aw. Or not disappointed, I was just sad. I was like, aw, dang it. I really wanted to do that. I wanted to nuke the team. Also, though, I might actually end up playing Magneto more often, but I also just have a ton of fun with Thing. There's just something very satisfying being able to jump in and out of fray, and then the charge just feels great. And then on top of that, just massive haymakers as kind of your bonus protection, your durability and damage is like, this is nice. And also, not to mention a mile wide and far punch range. I swear though, he has such a, like, you can be a sizable distance away from the punch that you'll be just like, nope. Like, you got hit, yeah, you were about like 4 things away, but you still got hit. Though, also because of the fact that I play things so often, I kind of know the timing of that punch, and I've actually started getting good at winding up jumping and being able to hit them just as I jump, or just as I land near them. And it's very satisfying to be able to do that, because it's like, ta-da! That would have been 2 dead towers if it wasn't a tanky one in front. What else was I thinking? Oh yeah, but like, because I play them so often, I gotten to the point with some of the characters where you can kind of go like, nope, or whether it's like Wanda where you can do the invulnerability thing, or any form of, oh, I'm not really there, or oh, you can't hurt me. I got really good at doing that with against Thing players. It was very satisfying, just like hit them a bit, and then right before they punch, just go like, nope, I'm not here. And then go back to hitting them a bunch, and then like, oh, nope, you almost got me. It wasn't very effective because despite the melee range, I still miss way too many of the shots. But beyond that issue, he just has more health than me, so like, and cooldowns for things are indeed existent. Yeah, that's one thing I like. I'm glad it didn't escape. I'm glad the tower didn't run away. Okay, where are we at? Still in the lower tiers, I believe. I'm not really. Yeah, I don't know. Doing well. Who's doing well? Oh, dang. Blackthorn's doing way better than me. I think I have a feeling that he may have finished his battles. Just maybe. Also, probably he's finished on Monday or Tuesday. I don't know. And since it is Wednesday, it's not exactly a race condition at this point. Wow, I managed to kill 3 of them from skulls. I didn't even get a single turn. I'm quite happy with that. That's the reason I like towers, is because sometimes you can just go punch, 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 punch. Oh, I'm done. Punch, 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 punch. Where, like, boss fights, it is always the case of, like, even if you nuke down the boss really quickly, you will always have to deal with the minions, and you don't get any bonus against minions. Where with the towers, you do. You get a killing bonus, and you get a punching bonus. And, like, that is also the other thing, like, the boss fights, you have a boss slayer. Yeah, like a boss slayer trait. But the thing is, you have no use for it because said boss slayer also has an ability that's a boss slayer ability. So it's like you just target them and boom, they go by. Like, it's funny, a funny thing of just like, it's really simple. You just target them once or twice and they're dead. You don't have to punch through them. And since they're in the back, always, the boss is always in the back, you'll never get there just, to punch them. So, it's just a case like, I have no reason to get the boss slayer perk. Unless I am doing it just to get traits for that kingdom. Or because I enjoy completing things. Completing things would be the grammatically correct. I guess more so, I want to say completionist. But I want to say completing at the same time, and that ended up being completing. Completioning. I don't know what I ended up actually saying, but it was definitely not a word. And not a grammatically correct one either. Oh. Okay, bonus thing there, bonus thing there, bonus thing there. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. It looks like I can't left out. It wasn't. She wanted in at the beginning of the stream, and then an hour later she was like, I gotta go. But at the same time, better, they get out when they need to than having a mess to clean up. And the nice thing is, since I've actually done something, I've done a stream since the last time I've, went online and went like, I do streams and stuff. I make video content. I started doing that. I started doing like, I do things here. Like, this is my video content stuff. This is my other content stuff. Like, this is where you can find other of my content. And like donations as well. Like, this is where you can donate to me if you're really feeling like it. I've started also splitting those up to like specific things instead of just generic. Just like, these are the places you can donate to, to me, from whatever. Or the grammatically correct one would be there. And like, it is just the case of like, I'm trying to split those up so I can give more detail. Like, if you want to give a random gift to me, or like, give a specific gift, like, or work, donate some money to get a gift for me. I have a bunch of gifts set up on the throne site. So like you could do that there. I know a bunch of other people are using that, so it's like, well, other people use that, and I'll use that. And then like I've started setting up the Ko-fi or coffee. I literally don't know how it's actually meant to be said. I've heard it both ways. And it's like, if you want to donate money there, and then it's like I also have a PayPal link and you can donate money, and then I also have Patreon that you can just throw money at me because it's not like I actually consistently make content that I'd put there. So it's like I'm trying to split things up to be more like, this is why you would give me money via this platform. And the idea that people would donate. But at the same time, like, if I'm not doing anything, like not even doing streams, like I was, because I was busy with doing way too many things, I was like, there's no reason to be saying I do things or should be donated to if I'm not doing anything. It's one of those cases like, there's nothing to donate to or nothing to watch. So there's no reason for me to be sending these out. But now that I've done a stream again, I can probably start doing them again. Oh, yep, and then I've got those down to a reminder so that I get them down or get them out on a fairly regular basis. And because that's always the key thing. It's like trying to do regular basis of things. There's also like a bunch of other things that are regular basis built. That I want to try and get like to doing again, but like so many things, it's like, no, I can't just like, oh, I'm gonna start this thing, because inevitably it will take more effort than what I initially planned, and then I'll be trying to squeeze that in with everything else, and then I'll be doing too much stuff. And so it'll be just a whole mess of things where it's like, I'm going to try and add one thing back at a time. Like, if I can get through a day and get everything I need done in that day, like everything done, and I'm just like able to relax by the end of it, then I am good to just add another thing that I'm wanting to try and do, as a routine. And just kind of, so that like that way, yeah, I have enough time to relax, but also, make use of the time I have to relax to also do something, but also make sure I'm not trying to do too many things and squeezing, trying to squeeze 30 hours in a 24-hour day kind of thing. So it's a fine balance that I finally realized is the thing I do need to balance. It's almost like it does affect me quite a bit. So, slowly getting better. And, as I've said way too many times, actually, already on the stream, like, this is why I'm able to stream again, because I've caught up. I've got everything I needed to do. Actually, honestly, I got everything I needed to do done by like 11, I want to say. But I didn't want to start the stream there then, because it was like, I'm going to stream for so long, but I got work at 1. It has been about an hour and a half of streaming, and I'm getting slightly tired. It's the same thing as per usual, where it's like I'm gonna stream for a bunch of stuff, or not, stuff, but I'm gonna stream for quite a bit of time because I'm gonna do a bunch of stuff. And like I'm gonna get all my dailies done, my weeklies done in this game. Like I'm basically doing the stuff that I would do otherwise to help the guild, but on stream. And like I'm gonna try and get all that done. But at the same time, the downside of talking all this time is the case that the downside is the case that I inevitably am just, I get tired because I'm not used to talking as much. But it's like I'm having fun with it either way. Whew. Oh, you charged your people up. How sad. Oh, that's very sad, actually. Because I can't do any damage with that, so I'll just blow it up and in hopes of, oh, you gave them a score. Well, I'll just have to cast 2 damage to go slain. Oh, man. I'm at least caught up with things. I'm happy with that. And since I'm caught up with things, I do need to upload some more of the Marvel Rival clips that I've gotten. And by gotten, I mean made, because I am a mediocre player. And sometimes I get put with poor players. Though legitimately, it does feel like sometimes where it's just the case of like, how am I the best one here? Sometimes it is the case where it's like, yes, I'm doing great. But way too many times when I'm doing much better than everyone else, it is usually a case of like, huh? Just, good old-fashioned confusion, like, how am I the better one here? This doesn't make sense. This isn't how this is supposed to work. Oh, you gotta punch me twice. How rude. Yeah, let's just blow up the board. I guess part of the board. That works as well. And yeah, let's just turn things to red. And then slice. Oh, yeah, I've been having fun with this again. Mostly just because I've been having fun helping out the guild. I've also gotten back into properly getting everything done every day for Marvel Strike Forces, for the guild and that. Not my guild, but the guild I'm in. So, aka just not a guild that I made, but a guild I am quite happy to play for. It was quite fun. It was like when I started playing Marvel Strike Force again. It's a mobile hero collector. I started rewatching the Avengers movies, Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man, that kind of era of movies, and Coulson's in there, and it's like kind of play around with Coulson again. So I went to boot up my account, and that was gone. I was like, oh dang it. Oh well, I guess I can make a new one. Much better that way, honestly, because just due to the case of I got so much more stuff way quicker that like I probably had more stuff in day 1 than I had like the months that I played it. So it's kind of funny that way. But eventually, I was doing really good in the guild I was at, and I was like, okay, we are, there's no coordination. This is just utter chaos. We only have a fraction of the people playing. I want to try and find an active, coordinated guild. And so I went into I went to try and find, I think maybe on the forums or Discord server, some form of recruiting place. And I think it was on the Discord, the official Discord server. And I found someone who was trying to find a guild. And, you know, they were looking for a guild, and one of the recruiters for the guild I'm in now was like, "Oh, come join, blah 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 blah," and I went. I didn't, you know, jump into it at all. I didn't like go like, "Oh, can I join as well?" I literally just found that guild and joined. I was just like, "Oh, I'll join that guild as well," and they just had like a simple thing of like, okay, you need to join the Discord, go blah 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 blah, you know, kind of thing. Which made sense. If it was coordinated, it was good to do that, and I was quite happy because they have like a family of guilds, and I've moved up once. But this is the quite active one. Pretty much the one I joined was an early in one, where you get to kind of prove your might in a sense. Or not even might, but your dedication. And by dedication, really is just, can you log in most of the days? Can you do the raids for the guild? You know, all that kind of very little, oh, I don't get to punch them in one shot anymore. Dang. How unfortunate. I still get to go, well, I have no idea what this ability actually would be doing. Because I know with some characters it's like, yeah, it's a sword swipe or something, but I have no idea what, unless actually it might just be a hold it in front of you like, behold the power of Ra. Actually, what symbol would that be? I have no idea. I don't know why I was gonna know. Why I thought I was like, oh yeah, let me look at the symbol. I'll know what that means. I don't know any hieroglyphic. It is wild how your brain can just be like, yeah, I know this thing, when that is just a blatant lie, and then like you can catch yourself on it and go like, wait a second, no I don't. It is, I've done that a lot, where it's just like my brain wants to go like, no, you know this thing, it's this thing, and it's like, no, I don't, you know, I believe it's that thing, but I legitimately have nothing to back that up. Like, as far as it's concerned, you, my mind, just made it up in that split second. But it's like, at the very least, you know, with those cases, like, I recognize, like, oh, I've made something up, but there definitely are probably plenty of occasions where I'm just like, yep, this is the answer, and I do not question it. But where I don't recognize that I'm just making it up. Oh. Oh yeah, Mars Strike Forces Guild. I was trying to think of like, where did I tangent off of? I think that's going to be the biggest thing as well. Like, as long as there's no people to bounce off of, I am just going to end up tangenting. Like, it'll be just like a, you know, like a family tree. Except for, you know, like a normal tree shape, it's just like a bunch of Ys that are just constantly getting farther and farther away. I guess that is how normal tree works. But I guess I was just thinking of at a much farther, or, you know, faster acceleration, where it's just like, we will never find the roots of what initially started this. Oh. Yay, punching time. Oh, dang it, I forget I don't get to punch them in one shot anymore. So disappointing. I want to be able to punch them in one shot. I still get to curse them, bless them, overpower them with divinity. I don't know. I don't know the style of that spell, and I do not question it. Actually, I do question it. I just don't have anywhere I could find answers. Okay, I guess probably the name. Yeah, it's a blessing. Yeah, I bless them to death. Be blessed into the afterlife. We don't want you here anymore. God, could you imagine the most passive aggressive thing of of just like, we will bless you into the afterlife. You are no longer welcome here. Maybe not even that last part, just the like, we shall bless you into the afterlife. But it's like, I'm still alive. We know. Just like that, kind of like, we know, unfortunately, that is the case. But that is such a, like, it's a cool name. But it is like, it deals damage. The focus is doing damage to a tower. Why is it called a blessing? Ooh, punching time. Ooh. More punching time. Ooh, nice. No idea why that finished him off. Potentially because I had some more attack. Probably. How many more battles can we get? How many more battles can we get? Blow up the board, you say? Yes, I might as well. Okay. I am way out of breath for how little I just did. Oh no, I saw that extra blues. Thank you very much. Oh, you gotta punch me for free. Bum, bum, doo doo, bum, ba da 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 da. Oh, that's the other thing. Because it's monsters, you can use the monster legendary that has like the 8% chance to devour or just kill the last target when you match 4 and 5s. Which, like, if these people didn't have, if the towers didn't have the invulnerability to like any form of like, hey, you're dead, then you could just set it up so that you have a bunch of like bonus turn mana generator, four-way, yeah, just a bunch of like four-way generators that self-charge, and like it'll take a bit of time because just how that works. 8% is a fairly low chance. Nonetheless, like, you could just cycle those characters. They would, never, towers would never have a turn. And you just eventually, murder them off, like, one by one, just like, boom, 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 and then ta-da! And you could theoretically, with like a minimally, like, no level team, you could end up taking out the top stuff, with literally no issue. So it's like, I understand why these are invulnerable to everything. So it's just that, like, no, you can't just XYZ thing. You have to actually, deal damage. Yeah, I gotta punch him. Oh, stretch. Actually getting a bit tired sitting in the chair. I probably should stretch, but just because I grumble about needing to stretch doesn't mean I'm going to. Okay, looks like we got ads in a minute. There is like no good color. More blue. And a punch. And a punch. Oh, they get a punch. How dare you punch me back? Just because I punched you first? Yeah, I think once we get this run down to 0, I think we'll call it good. Okay, 8. 136. 136. 136 divided by 8. Yes, we're using the calculator. 17. Oh, dang. Yeah, no, they are just actually ahead of me. Because even if I got all my battles, I wouldn't be able to catch up. So I need a good amount of more of those to be able to make it to where they are. Otherwise, they will just be ahead of me, and there will be nothing I can do about it. And that's an issue, you see, Kakarot. I must be the best. Oh, god dang it, they gotta punch me twice. Only it wasn't for my pride and my terrible voice acting skills. Why do I always do that? I know the attempted Vegeta voice ruins my throat, and yet I love doing it. I guess more so just because I love the Dragon Ball Z abridged voice for Vegeta. And so it's so hard not to want to try and do it because I just love the voice. And slice. No, I should grab that. And boom. Oh, yeah, back at a punch. Okay, nice. Whoa, stretch. Definitely though, once we are done with the guild stuff, I think I'll end up calling it a stream. And go for a walk. Because that's always good for me to do. Especially when I still need to do more walks today. When I said I got everything done today, I meant most things. Technically, I had planned on doing my walk later today because I got 2 of them done. I do 4 of them. Did 2 of them in the morning when it was nice and cool, and then by the time I had more time again, / I realized I should probably do another walk. It was midday, and that's when the heat is the hottest due to the sun being right above us. So it's a case of like, hey, maybe I don't go out in the sun. Yeah, I'll just touch me. And we'll just roll up the board. And okay. And then so like it was really hot then, so I was like, I'll wait till it cools down, which really is about now and really not even now. Like it still is the case, like it doesn't even actually get that much cooler until like another hour, and then it's like right before I go to bed kind of thing. So it's like, oh well, it is what it is. But at the same time, I'd rather wait a little bit more than walk in the heat. just do the good old-fashioned case of heat is hot, and I do not like overheating. And no, I will not take off my cardigan to make sure I don't overheat. I will always say that. It's kind of the funniest thing. Like, doesn't matter what the temperature is, I pretty much just end up wearing a cardigan no matter what. Nice when it's cold, and it's usually not too much of an issue when it's hot, because usually I stay inside, so it doesn't matter then. I just do not go anywhere, so it's the case of like, well, I don't have to worry about almost anything when it comes to, is it hot out? Is it something out? Doesn't matter. I'm not going outside, so it... you know, it's not a good thing, but it definitely is just like, yep, that's the thing. I really could, you know, use going out more often, but yeah. I just also don't have a reason to, like, other than just, you know, going outside. But like an event, like, I don't go to any events, and you know that theoretically could change. Ooh, nice. You know, if I plan to try and do that, but like right now, it's just because like, yep, I don't go outside. Oh, dang it! They got all their mana. How dare you! You stole my mana. You're gonna also get a berry. That's quite annoying. Yeah, let's clear that barrier. Then I can go stab. Oh, dang it, you punched me. Yeah, dang, actually, it's starting to take some damage. Ugh. Maybe at some point in time I'll start going out to other things again. But then again, I'll probably want to try and get a car at that point, just due to the good old-fashioned, it's a lot easier to go do things if you can get yourself there easily. And then that means a lot more money, because cars cost money, and then there's insurance. I think I technically still have insurance, but I'd have to double check with that. But then you know, then there's gas costs. There's a ton of things attached to having a car. So it's the case of like, if I did that, I'd then have to spend a lot more money, which in turn means I'd have to be getting a lot more. Hey, I don't one-shot him with the ability either anymore. That's no good. That's definitely no good. Don't one-shot punch him, and I don't one-shot shot him. Luckily, they do a little bit of splash. Not really even splash damage, but yeah, some form of AoE. Yeah, let's just blow up some of the board. Yeah, it works. Punching still works to a good enough degree. Yeah, let's just blow things up. Yeah, let's finish it off with a good old punch. Finish it off with a good old punch. Oh. But yeah, next time I do a stream, it'll probably be a lot shorter. Since there probably won't be much to do on this, I'll probably just do delves, the dailies, we'll see what else kind of thing. And that shouldn't take too much time. It's just the first stream of the week will probably end up taking much more time than the other Gems of War streams. Just nicely due to I can get a lot of stuff done with the stream, you know, in the first time with Guild event, than I can the days after I've gotten things done. Because I've already got the bulk of stuff done. Okay, I guess we just blow up the board again. Hopefully that's enough. Okay, good. Well, we're almost out of tokens, I do dare say. Here we now. We're still a solid 80 behind. I need 6 more tokens, and I do not think I will get 6 more ravens. Or, no, not ravens, 6 more. I guess 3 more. Yeah, I still don't think I'm gonna get, I don't think I'll get 3 more. Oh, dang it, I should have punched. Well, does not matter too much, I dare say. And a good yellows. No, there is not any good comp. And a punch. And punch. Now for the punch line. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Bing. I'm terrible when it comes to carny jokes. Correction. I'm terrible when it comes to bad corny jokes. Because that's all I know. And okay. Just a few more to go. Ooh. Yeah, too much talking. I'm quite literally like draining both my social and my focus energy bar. I'm just like, okay, I've done a lot of talking. I've not used decking as much as I have today. Blow things up and have skulls fall. Love to see that. Although, also online with all my other, I'm really busy with everything stuff. WoW is also having... Yeah, I'll be able to kill that in time. Hey, you stole me. Okay, just 3. I was gonna say, like, you stole magic, and then it's like, nope, not that much. I mean, it's still some, but not that much. WoW is having a Legion remix come out soon. And by soon, I mean like a few months or something. So it's a case of like, ooh, might end up being a little busy with it. I'll try and make sure I stream that. But who knows? Like, I always want to try and make sure I stream whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm playing. But like social battery... And like, if I'm trying to do 1,000,001 other things as well, I'm like, no, I'm trying to do this also, this other thing on top of doing this thing. And overburn myself way too much. But I'm hoping that I can do it properly and just slide it into my routine. Like, it'll be just nice and simple. I have 1 health left. Then we go boom. Hopefully more skulls drop. No more skulls did drop, but nothing auto gain for me. Yeah, we did. So that one. Okay, and hopefully that's no, it wasn't enough. Oh no, how dare thee! Oh dang it, you actually punched me to death. Oh, very unfortunate. Well, let's summon a replacement. Oh, that's not too bad. Oh yeah, I see. You... I didn't even get to use that thing, dang it. It just died immediately. Need more pants. Oh, I'm gonna go for a nice walk after this. And then, yeah, probably get ready for sleep or something. Actually, I'll probably end up doing a few games of Rivals. Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday, so I work pretty much all day tomorrow. So, I'll probably end up being busier than usual. Just because it's not even usual, just busy. But then at the same time, so right now, work is not too busy due to we've managed to kind of catch up on the queue of tickets. And because it's summer term, there's not that many coming in. There still are some, so, you know, it is what it is. But since we've caught up and actually have managed to keep people on top of their own stuff as well, because of all those kind of factors where it's like, okay, we're on top of everything, you know, we're all that, anything new that comes in gets dropped on or jumped on, where it's just like, oh, okay, never mind, we have 3 people working on this. Yeah, let's just blow things up. Always safe to blow things up. Dang it, I was really hoping to avoid just that. Ooh. Skulls fall in my favor. They did not. Oh, you do true damage. That's not good. Okay, do you got any good yellow green? Not yellow green, yellow red matches? And the answer is no. Let's scrap the board. Get punched. Yeah, that was what I was worried about. Good news, at the very least, is that we can just punch them very easily, and Adler the Gargoyle, that's the terrible one. Stab. Oh, dang it. It was too overzealous. I wanted stabbings. Oh. I forgot about his barrier. Okay, 2 more to go. Potentially 3. Yep. And we got ads planes. Sorry, I wanted to remove a theme that's no longer relevant. Yeah, just want to. I really want to do something with the yellow, but there's just nothing actually there. Okay. I'm starting to have more health. Sizably more health. It's almost like difficulty increases. I think we are done with that. Bum, 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 ba, da, 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 da. There's nothing going on there, so we'll just blow it up and have a good time. Bum, 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 da, 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 da. One more time, bump. One last time, This is just the normal depths of madness that my mind goes into. The world may never know. As in, it'll never understand. It'll definitely be able to find it out, just due to the good old-fashioned case of, well, I upload these VODs, so, you know, you can always just find the VODs later. And find me just being absolutely crazy. And by absolutely crazy, I mean mildly at most. Yeah, I'm actually singing or humming like actual tunes. It's like, nope. I just wanted like a funky beat to just mess around with, but then my brain latched onto actual songs. Like, oh no, those are boring. I don't want actual songs. And that is all for the guild. Oh, we are 6 towers short. How unfortunate. Yeah, a lot of people are active. Like, literally just a handful aren't. And I legitimately think those people are just not active in general. So I am quite happy with everyone involved. I am hoping that we have some more people join the guild. It is called Loot and Plunder. Gonna grab stuff, grab campaign stuff. Oh, that'd been nice to grab beforehand. Whoops. Oh, I killed enough demons. Nice. Guild. It is called Loot and Plunder. You are more than welcome to join it. We're decently active. I can't say super active, but it is at least something. And, you know, the more people that we have who are active, the better we all do. So if you're playing Gems of War or you want to play it, you know, feel free to join the guild and, you know, join us, have some fun, play game, you know, play the different guild events, donate to the different tasks so that we get fun stuff, and yeah, and we all benefit. So that's always the nice thing, is that we all get bonus stuff, loot, otherwise. Yeah. So if you want to play it, you know, please join the guild. And the worst case scenario, you try it out, you play it for a bit, you go, not really for me. And then, you know, you can either leave the guild yourself, come back later, or you can go like, I'll be on tomorrow, and he'll never be on again. And then I just notice, like, okay, this person hasn't been on for a month. And, you know, they get kicked out. But the big thing as well is that if I kick anyone out, it is not as a, you can't come back. It is just a, hey, you're inactive. So I'm proning the inactive people. You know, if they want to come back later when they're active again, great. That's the nice thing, is that, like, I'm fine with anyone joining. You just, you know, have to be on more than once a month, pretty much. You know, eventually standards might rise, but until my own standards for myself rise, you know, for actually contributing to the guild, I don't think I can impose can't impose anything more on them than I will do myself. But that should be it. Let's head to the ending screen. I can probably update my support me thing. That's probably a good thing to do. But yeah, also check out the really cool art that I have in the background that rarely gets seen because I usually have a game in front of it. That is the biggest art piece I've done so far. Just pretty much a collage of a bunch of my different characters all in one image, and I'm very happy about it. You can also see it, you know, if you want it without, see it without all the different stuff in front of it. You can see it in like the Discord, which is always linked below. The art Instagram also has it. I think that's pretty much it right now. Like, I do know that I've started posting stuff to Ko-Fi and Patreon for more stuff, like for more ways that's like, oh, I don't use Instagram, but I would love to see more of the art, you know. They can just still check out anywhere else that I do stuff. But once again, thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I do know that I probably should start trying to raid out and figure out like who I'm gonna raid and all that, but like I don't have anyone watching really on Twitch. I mean, let me check my bot, and yeah, it's just me. Like, there's no one actively watching on Twitch where I'd raid, so it is the case, like, I don't think it'll be worth doing it. And it'd be good for me if I did it, you know, as like a publicity thing, like, hello, I am a thing that exists. But until I'm consistent, I don't really want to go, hey, I'm a thing that exists when I'm inconsistent. It's like, I exist. 3 months later, hey guys, kind of forgot about existing. Anyways, once again, thank you everyone so much who did come in and watched or even checked it out for a bit. I do appreciate you all. And yeah, check out my other stuff. I'm slowly doing things again. And if there's anything you'd like to see in particular, please let me know. And until next time, have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.